Right, hi everyone, and welcome to Internet Racing School, or how I like to say it, IRS Wolf, my channel. So today I'm visiting PF International Circuit, and here is huh? And as usually I'll try to find out as much as possible information about this circuit, about racing line, because this is another video of my project Lion King. So today about PFI circuit, about this event, and I want to find out what does it mean, these two letters PF. So let's go and let's find out this information. Right guys, here is, I found a bit of information about this event. So this is Trent Valley Kart Club Championship, and today here we have classes like X30 Senior, Senior Max, this is Senior Rotax Max, Junior Rotax Max, Junior X30, what else we have, Mini Max, X30 Mini, and also we have Miami Cadet and Honda Cadet. So these two, Miami Cadet and Honda Cadet, so these two, I think this is what I'm gonna be concentrated today, and I'm gonna find out about these two classes. I want to find out where is the difference between them. I mean, I know that this is different engines, but I want to find out how quick they're going around this circuit.
Hi, I'm Oliver Gree from Race for S8 Racing. I drive a Fullerton X30.
And I'm Jay Goodwin, and I also drive an X30, but an OTK.
Nice one. Okay, so now you're going to show us racing line, yeah?
Yeah.
So
Brilliant, let's go.
So basically this is the start-finish line at PFI International. You want to be flat out, obviously, straight down tram line, well, just off the tram line, as close as you can to the white line.
obviously setting yourself up for this next nice long sweeping corner.
You just want to be as smooth as possible around this circuit. You just got to keep all your speed up. It's
We average about 50 miles an hour around here, 53.
No, higher than that, it's about 57. In a Senior X30, by the end of the straight, you normally hit about 72 miles an hour. For this corner, you need to be quite gradual on turn-ins. It's a little movement of the wheel, and you just want to be straight, making the corner as straight as possible for both. And so turn 1 and 2, you want to make it a nice little straight line to not scrub any speed off. You want to get as close as you can to the white line without hitting it, about hitting the curb, I mean. So you want to be right up against it, and then just let the kart straight line to the next corner. And then once you get here, you want a little movement of the wheel to the left, obviously, because left-hander.
Yeah.
And you want to cake it, then you want to make it just nice enough to hit the next curb under the bridge. Yeah, you go literally half your kart over it, so you want your seat about where I am. You can see where it's being the actual curb is being ground out, and you can see bits of it taken. You go over this flat out no matter what class you're in. Typically you fly a little bit and land about here, and you keep it to the right. So you try and keep the banking section nice and open and quite fast.
Quite tight looking at it like this, but it's not like a dabber brake, but and then back on the power straight away.
Once you go off the brake, you're aiming for this bit of white here, this white line. You want to be as close to the curb as you can, really.
Not too early though. You want to sort of not get it too late, not too early, because if you get it too late, then you've gone too wide, and if you get it too early, then
you're gonna go and slide out a little bit.
Wide on the exit.
Yeah.
As soon as you're at the apex, you should be on the power.
And then you lose the apex into the middle.
Yeah, you start to run a bit wide because you need to open up the next corner. You want a bit heavier braking than you did for down the bottom of the hill, but a little bit heavier just to slow it down. You literally want to get just to the white line. As soon as you get there, you shouldn't straighten your wheel at all. You should keep it about the same sort of angle. Yeah, you wouldn't think it would be, because obviously it's a little bit straight there, but you keep it the same.
My name's Gerard Cox.
Gerald. And Gerald, can you first of all tell a little bit about this event, what's happening today here?
Right, well this is obviously one of the PFI club rounds, but it's also the race preceding the British Championships, which will happen at the end of this month. So all the serious competitors are here to practice as well for that meeting.
So the championship was happening at the end of the month. It's a Super 1 series.
That's it, that's correct.
Super 1 series. And today we're here at PF International Circuit.
That's it, yeah.
And so can you tell me a little bit about your team, Project One
Racing. That's it.
Can you tell a little bit history and generally about the team?
Right, Project One Racing's been going since around about the late 80s. We manufacture some of our own karts. We certainly manufacture the Honda Cadet karts. We also support the Rotax classes, but we use a proprietary chassis for that, and we also do the X30 classes. But we try to bring our drivers on from when they start in karting, sort of say 8 years old, and try and keep them as long as we possibly can. I mean, one of our drivers here today, he's now coming up for 18, and he's been with us since he was 8. So I pride myself in giving a good support to our drivers, and they reciprocate it with their loyalty.
So you run all the categories of go-karts, starting from the Cadet and all the way to the X30?
Yeah, all the way up through the juniors into the seniors. Well, basically there's obviously three aspects to the kart. There's obviously the chassis. Well, we use a Project One chassis, one we manufacture ourselves, one that's made down in Kent where we're based. There's obviously the engine. Well, we have most of our engines done by RPM. They've done our engines for the last 10 or 15 years and give us very good service. So, you know, for a racing engine, it's very durable. And obviously we've got the tyres, exactly the same tyre as the British Championships. We use Dunlops. Getting all the things together correctly, that's how we come by our competitiveness.
Today I've seen there is another cadet class here which is called Ayami.
Cadet, yes.
And can you tell me what is going to be the difference on the lap time around PFI?
Ooh, it's very, very close. It would be less than half a second. It really would be.
The engines, the 4-stroke is more reliable, or that
much
one?
more reliable,
Much
more
reliable.
durable, and less expensive to maintain and to run. That's why Honda Cadet is the biggest class in the country.
And the last question, can you give a rough idea what the budget family should expect?
If they're going to run themselves, I think they could more likely do the year for between £10,000 and £20,000. With a team, I think you'd start at around 30, depending on the team.
But of course, if you run with the team, you have more opportunities for winning.
Correct, but you certainly do 2 or 3 years on your, then you could move to a team. It's not absolutely, you've not got to be with a team straight away. Project One Racing, excuse me, which is all one word, and that's .co.uk, so they could just go onto that and look at that.
project1racing.co.uk. So guys, I'm going to leave you all the detail in the description down below, so you can go there, click on that link, and you can check the Project One Racing website, and you will find more useful information there.
So you should automatically start turning for this corner before you even think about it.
Yeah.
At the end of the actual curb, you want to be at the white line.
This red bit, and you want to be facing as much as towards the marshal post you can.
You want to let the kart run out just a little bit, like not too much, because you want to get as far as you can to this side again to open it properly up to get on the power as soon as you can.
Do you lift off here?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
in
give it a little lift.
yeah in the senior class you give it a little lift, maybe a little brake depending. Because you want to keep it as tight as you can because you do slide out.
But if you hit it here, then that's too much because you're literally bouncing over the curb. You've got to be here as smooth as possible and always chasing the throttle.
Don't go too far over here though, because
Yeah, that's not very good.
if you're on this bit of the track, it is a bit.
It might push you out.
Yeah. So for this corner, you want to be hard on the brakes. It's possibly the hardest braking point on the track. Roughly braking about around this sort of like green lamppost.
Yeah, for a beginner, a green lamppost is a great braking point.
So hard on the brakes all the way around, and you want a nice, strong single movement on the wheel.
Yeah, no. Just
Yeah, because of it.
karting, you typically go with your shoulders. So in this corner, you'd be like, putting this shoulder first.
But it's not like you doing quick move. You do
No,
smooth.
Nice smooth, so it
So
doesn't
for
snap.
example, if I go up trolley and go, see, he wasn't really ready for that, but if I go, then he can lean into it. That's like the same with a kart. If you go like the kart will just, it won't be quick. But if you're smooth, very smooth.
You can
That's
lean
a
on.
very good example.
yeah.
Very good.
You want your rear wheel to pick up with this, so you want your out arm like holding the kart still, sort of thing, holding the wheel, so it's nice and firm. That'll pick up your rear wheel and it'll give you a nice run out the corner. You want to run all the way out. You can, depending on what class you're in, you can run this rumble strip, but I choose mainly not to do it if I can.
Because we have next one left-handed. Do we change straight away, or are we still keeping on the left-hand
No,
side?
you just kind of take off a little bit of steering as you come out, and you just gradually come across.
And it's a straight, and you just sort of move over. Like,
Yeah, you
you
don't.
don't just like,
Yeah, you
you don't do that.
you just kind of let it gradually come across. You don't want to be too much on the wheel because obviously again that scrubs speed and then that makes you vulnerable.
Anyway.
Right, guys, so just behind me there is a huge building with a huge glass wall, and this is the PFI circuit karting shop. So now I'm gonna go there and I'll show you what they have there. So let's go, let's check it. Right, so here we have a chassis and go-karts for sale, and here we have used chassis, so second-hand chassis. Birel, Red Bull, Racing Card RK, Kubica. Tools to repair go-karts, and it's a quite big choice of tools. Look, they even have a compressor, toolbox, professional proper one, plate numbers, yellow, white, green, black, blue. Actually I never spoke about the number colors. Sprockets, different sizes, because on different circuits you use different sizes, different lubricants, oils, WD-40, even paper rolls. Oh, toolboxes, engine boxes. Okay, what we have upstairs, luggages. This is first what we can see. Nice, beautiful helmets, helmet visors, dark visors. I think it's very convenient to have one of these, especially when you need to run around circuit long distances. Racing suits for cadets and juniors. Okay, another racing suits, and this is, I think this is the junior and adult sizes. And here he is. This is a racing shoes. Looks Parker, Alpine Star. Oh, what is that? It's a wet boot. Wow. Here he is. This is a wetsuits for cadets, juniors, and adults, seniors. Right. So here he is, guys. I show you the PFI karting shop, and it has a lot of choice, and it have here everything what you need for the race day, for tools and parts, and also it have a big choice of racing suits and gloves, helmets and shoes. So okay, let's go and let's see what else we have here at PFI.
So for this corner, yeah, for this corner you can get, if you get a good run out the first step, and this is a very good space to overtake. So you brake quite a bit later than you would if it was the other way around, if you know what I mean. So you brake quite a lot later, and then just release the brake and start releasing the brake around about here as you turn in. Yeah, literally you just run it and get tighter towards the white line at the middle of the corner, and slightly build out again on the way out.
This is a great corner.
This again, you want to come out just as wide as you can make the track. Really, you want to mill your seat about on this white line to absolutely optimize the corner, to make it as little angle as possible.
Up a little bit more, whereas if you're here, it's more of a turn, whereas if you're here, it's a bit less.
The track is really grippy on the white line here because everyone uses it in every class. Like your feet literally stick to the floor when going around. The braking is quite heavy, but not like drastically. No locking of the brake or anything like that. You always need to be at least on this white line. You need to be on the apex right here. You want to keep it nice and tight to it at least. Yeah, you want to keep it a little bit more to the left than in the middle. You want to keep it just to the left.
This one up a bit more.
Yeah, and once you're on the power through there, this is all flat out straight away. No lifting, no braking. This is all completely flat out.
While you do the corner, you can either put your foot down or just chase it.
You run all this rumble strip. You run it all the way to the end of it. You want to come off just before the grass. Literally, you want to make full advantage of it to have as little steering as possible. Yeah, so you do need to keep your speed up quite a lot. But again, this is a little braking point. It's not harsh on you or anything like that. You just want to give it a nice little brake.
It's quite a fast corner. It doesn't look it, but it is a corner that you can carry a lot of speed through. With it being so tight, you wouldn't think, would you? But this one, it's literally small braking point and then flat all the way around.
Yeah,
it's very point and squirt, this track is.
Don't take this curb in the dry because it bounces you off.
But curb in the wet.
Yeah, white line, nothing more. So you want to be, again, white line. You can just touch it, but don't go any further than that because it is not good for your car, really.
Yeah, I'm Dan Hazelwood, team owner of Fusion Motorsport. Yeah, so we've been running for the last 12 years. We've won the British Championship 6 times, amongst other championships along the way. So most successful cadet kart team in the UK. Now we have a strong team of drivers. We have 10 this weekend in the awning, so growing all the time, and still in contention to win the British Championship this year, and also LGM Championship as well.
And here we have a IAMI kart, which is a cadet class, am I right?
Yes, IAMI Cadet. Okay, so we have 60cc air-cooled engine, carburetor exhaust. It's a 900 centimetre frame, wheelbase. The chassis itself is a Synergy. It's our own brand that we manufacture for the cadet class, especially for the UK. It's the most popular brand at the moment with nearly 90% of the grid on this particular car. And the tyres, we use a Dunlop, quite a hard compound, so creates difficult grip for the drivers, so it's less grip, so they have to work hard with the driving to get the best out of the equipment. We have beginner drivers. This black plate denotes a novice driver. Age group is between 8 and 12 for this class.
Here we have another cadet class, which is Honda. How big difference going to be on the lap time here around PF5?
Some weekends the IAM is faster, some weekends the Honda is faster, depending on conditions. Sometimes at the smaller events at other tracks, they run the two classes together and there's very little difference. But we're talking about maybe a couple of tenths of a second, so it's very close.
Can you give me an idea how much costs to run these cars through the whole season?
Can be up to, let's say, £50,000 to compete in a year of cadet karting. Sometimes people spend more. The engines can change hands for a lot of money because a lot of people want to buy particular types of engines when they have a proven race pedigree, so the value goes up.
And how often you have to rebuild the engine or change it?
Well, each driver has 4 engines at the minimum, some have more, so we rotate the engines to save the life of them, but generally they will run for, I'd say, 10 hours before needing a rebuild. In contrast to that, with the Honda, is probably looking at more like half the cost of that maybe, because you can race on a little bit more of a budget. But then again, some people maybe spend more, you know, it depends on how much people want to spend. I think both classes are the same really in terms of learning to drive. Perhaps you could argue with the Honda class you can afford more mistakes because they have more torque off the corner. Maybe with the IAME you have to be a little bit more precise with the driving, but ultimately that probably creates a better driver. So with one class you probably develop a better technique for the future. The other class maybe is good for developing racecraft. So our website is www.fusionmotorsport.co.uk. You can find all the contact details on there with phone number, email, etc. So anyone who's interested in maybe even just starting karting right up to racing in British Championship level can contact us and we can go through a structure and a program to suit them.
I will leave you the Fusion team details in a description down below.
This corner is Bobby Game.
Yeah.
Garages, great corner. It's a double apex, so alarmingly you're quite tight on the way in.
which you don't think you would be. You think you get it wide to get there, but no, you're quite tight on the way in, and you've just got to get it so good you just got to get it on the brakes.
This white line just here, by the time you come through, let the kart run out a little bit wider. You run it wide to about here, not quite a kart width, because obviously that gives opportunity, but you want to keep it just within that. You keep on the brake right up to about here, where the corner tightens right up, but by now you've slowed down just enough to get back on the power, and also keep it to the right enough to open up the next corner.
Try not to turn too early into this corner. It's quite, sucks you in. You wanna turn, but try and hold it for a second, and then.
It is quite a tight corner, but because it is banked, you can run quite fast around it and not actually understeer too much.
Yeah.
So
and you want to get a good exit from here, because you want the kart to pick up, and you want to drive as quick as you can out of it.
You run all of this rumble strip. You may just go onto this honeycomb sort of stuff here.
Try and get off it, not too late.
This is where you start turning for the main corner. Yeah, so around about now you want to start riding this curb. You want both wheels on it. So you want to be coming off it around about here, right at the end of it.
Typically there's a little lift either, going on here for this corner.
Yeah.
Just a little one.
Don't touch this curb in the dry. In the wet, yes you do. In the dry, no. But you want to get as close as humanly possible to it. Like literally on this white line. You want to wash out literally right up to this rumble strip. You want to be taking some of it. Literally about half your kart wants to be just on the rumble strip. This track's very much brake and then just flat out, and
that corner is so important, because that's your whole drive down the straight, your whole drive into that first, second, third.
Yeah, getting a good exit through there is crucial on your lap.
It's so important.
So this was a lap of the PFI International in the X30 senior category, and this was the actual racing line which most drivers use.
Which we use. But also, most of the lines are quite universal for all classes. So
just a few millimetres maybe the difference between classes.
Yeah, a few braking points, but you'll find that.
Well, where we're sat here, we're sat on the podium at PF International in the United Kingdom. This is our international circuit. We are the Trent Valley Kart Club. I'm chairman of the club. So the club has run today's race meeting here at PFI, which is a club meeting. I know around the world people are always keen on UK karting, and the number of people we have in the sport. Just to let you know, at a club meeting there were 240 entries today, so that was a cracking meeting. Really good numbers, some great racing as well. So I represent Trent Valley Kart Club. We're the club that organise the meetings here, run to the MSA rules and regulations. We have a race meeting every month.
And just shortly, what is the history of the circuit?
The history of the circuit, we're talking probably 23 years of age now, which is fantastic, because if you look at the infrastructure and the things that are around here, whoever thought to build paddocks as big as this 23 years ago, when they used to come with a car and a trailer, and now we've got the equipment we have in the paddock, that was a bit forward thinking, but the whole place is quite forward thinking. 23 years ago built. Paul Fletcher is the guy that built it. He's been an avid karting guy all his life. He's raced, he's been on the international circuit in the 50s, 60s. He's now got his own team here at PFI. He's 80 plus years of age, and he's as mad about karting as any man you could ever find.
I want
so
to
he's
meet him.
you do. He's absolutely nuts about karting. So that's where the facilities come from. Trent Valley have been here from the beginning, but I've been chairman for about 10 years now or so, and our vision was like a facility like this needs promoting and putting on the world stage. So we applied for an international event with the CIK. We got a round of one of the north and south type European qualifying events, which put us on the map, but the circuit was only about 1100 metres long, so it wasn't really long enough. So we had a chat with Paul Fletcher, and I say Paul Fletcher owns the whole premises. He takes pride in, obviously we've got it here, we take pride in it as well. We need an extension. Well, that's exactly what we need, Mr. Fletcher. So he's knowing what Paul is and everything that he ever does, it's like you see here, everything is bricks and mortar. He's here to last. He builds things to last. So yes, we could have had a little bit of a corner and a bit of a straight. No, we're having a bridge. So we're having a bridge section by about 300 metres, under, over, round. So That's what you've seen here today. So we've ended up with 1382 International Kart Circuit. We've had that for nearly 6 years now. And last year, I guess, was our highlight, where we ran the World Karting Championships here.
And what is the biggest event you had here? Is that was only UK Championships, or was any European Championships?
No, that was the World Championships CIK. We've run the European Championships for the CIK, but in the UK we run the British Championships here, and we run what we call the Kart Grand Prix. So in the UK, the biggest event we probably have here, although we have the British Championship, is what we call our Kart Grand Prix. So we have the GP plates, we have some fantastic prizes. I think the guys this year, first place was 500 quid. So a big prize to win in all of the classes that we run. So whether that's the Iami class, the Rotax class, the Cadets, the Hondas, everybody got a party to it. And it's a great atmosphere. It's a 4-day event. We try to make it into a bit of a carnival. So in the UK, that's probably our biggest based event.
Nice one. And the final question, sir, if let's say my viewers, if they want to try this circuit, you do something like a corporate carts?
We do. We have the corporate carts here on the sign here in front of us. PBS are the people. Details there. Ring up. You can arrive and drive pretty much any time of the day.
Nice one.
And night.
Nice one.
Because we have floodlights.
Guys, I will leave you the details about this circuit, the website and everything. I will leave you in the description down below. And thank you very much for
this circuit, guys. And we look forward to seeing you all here.